So I am pretty sure that the whole boxing world knows about Canelo's next opponent, the undefeated champion, William Scull. And I am pretty sure this fight on paper sounds very good. William Scull, an undefeated champion. So if you're a casual, you'll be like, Canelo Alvarez ain't ducking nobody. He is fighting undefeated champions. And yes, it is true that William Scull is undefeated and he is a champion. But the reason he is a champion, that's because Canelo got stripped and he was awarded the belt. So Canelo Alvarez is gonna be fighting a guy that never took the belt from him. So Canelo is gonna just get his belt back because William Scull never defeated anybody for that belt. That just makes him an email champion. So now that we cleared on how and why he became a champion, let's talk about his undefeated record. He has 23 wins, 9 knockouts, no losses, and no draws. I'm actually looking at his box rec right now, and there is no notable names, only Canelo Alvarez. He has wins over guys with 26 wins and 25 losses, and his biggest win was some guy named Shish Kick. He has 16-0. So we really do not know how good William Scull is when he fights as a professional, but we really do know how good he is in sparring. And this is when I'm gonna have to cook William Scull, because William Scull actually got stopped in sparring versus Conor Benn. And this is a Conor Benn with 16-ounce gloves and headgear. In the pros, you use 8-ounce gloves and no headgear. So it does look bad for William Scull. And not just that, add insult to injury, Conor Benn is not even a super middleweight. Conor Benn is a small welterweight. But in William Scull's defense, Conor Benn has a high knockout ratio. I also do understand that sparring is sparring, and some people may not be in the greatest shape when they're sparring. And some people are just working on their craft and they're getting tagged in sparring so they won't get tagged in the real pro fight. So in a recent interview, Nigel Benn, that's Conor Benn's dad, stated that Conor Benn beat the living ish out of William Scull. He said that he started picking up the pace after the 4th round, and in the 8th round, William Scull could not answer the bell, so he was not able to fight him in the 9th round. Now look what 147-pound Conor Benn do to a 168-pound fighter in William Scull. With headgear and 16 ounces, what do you guys think Canelo Alvarez is gonna do to William Scull? I see Canelo Alvarez beating the living ish out of William Scull and knocking him out. Canelo Alvarez is fighting at 168, but he already moved up to 175, and there was once upon a time where Canelo Alvarez wanted to go to cruiserweight. I believe he wanted to fight MacBook Air at cruiserweight, but around that time, that's when Alexander Usyk barely moved to heavyweight from cruiserweight. So when Alexander Usyk heard about this, he actually challenged Canelo. He stated that Alexander Usyk is willing to go down to cruiserweight to face Canelo. So this is when I believe Canelo never wanted to fight at cruiserweight, because even if Alexander Usyk could not make cruiserweight anymore and he was weight drained, I believe he will still knock out Canelo. I don't care how sturdy that chin is. The weight is just too much for Canelo to handle. Shoot, I don't even think Zurdo Ramirez could handle Alexander Usyk at cruiserweight. I know Alexander Usyk was really strong at heavyweight and he almost knocked out Tyson Fury. So imagine what he would do to Canelo. Now I know Canelo fights at super middleweight, but he is pretty small for a super middleweight, and him going to all these weight classes and still fighting the best is really unheard of. And Canelo Alvarez already has beaten the record for fighting the most champions ever. Even though I don't really count the William Scull as a champion, because Canelo is really just getting his belt back from when he was stripped, and that belt was just awarded to William Scull. Now I have Canelo Alvarez beating the living ish out of William Scull, and he will get his title back, and the fight against Terence Crawford versus Canelo Alvarez will be pound for pound versus pound for pound for undisputed. Now don't get me wrong, Terence Crawford, he is a great fighter, but he did not really leave his mark at 154. Sure, he was competitive and he did win the fight, but a lot of people thought it was a draw or he might have lost. I didn't think he lost. I think he won, but it was a close competitive fight against a 10-0 fighter, which was never a champion. 10-0, that's a little bit of fights. So Terence Crawford did not make a statement at 154. It would have been different if he would have stopped Madrimov like he did Errol Spence, but he did not. The power did not translate. And not just that, Terence Crawford is a small middleweight. So we're not gonna count 154 pounds because he did not make a statement at 154. He barely won the fight. So I am also a Terence Crawford fan, but I am not delusional. So everybody says that Terence Crawford is gonna go from 147 to 154, skip 154, skip 160, and then go to 168 against the pound for pound king in Canelo Alvarez. And let me add this as well. Canelo already fought 175. What if Canelo was a dick and told Terence Crawford to fight him at 175? What if Canelo said, you know what, Terence Crawford, you think you could beat me? I'll fight you at cruiserweight because I wanted to fight a cruiserweight before and I wasn't able to, but I'm able to now. I got the time now. And I know there are some content creators that are defending Terence Crawford, saying that he's about the same size as Canelo Alvarez. If this was true and they are both similar size, then they could both make similar weight at cruiserweight, because everybody says they're similar size, at least these content creators, and they say that Terence Crawford is 1 inch taller. Let's see how they fight at cruiserweight. But guess what, guys? I ain't the biggest, I'm the baddest. And if you want to hop on your boy, throw $1 at the super thanks. I got a row. Peace.